Hello and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, no, it's me, obviously. All right. Hello, welcome back to my channel. You're with Joanne. So glad you could join me. If you are one of my subscribers or choir members, a big shout out to you. If you are on the replay crew, hello to you too. Can you hear me now? You can hear me now? You just missed out. I just told you all how much I was giving everybody, but you didn't hear me, so you all missed out. I also said that we're in week 3 of a lockdown, and our Premier today has warned us we're going to be like Sydney if we don't start doing what we're told, and regional Victoria, or Shepparton, has now got 12 cases, and whether they lock down Shepparton or all of regional. Hello, Laurie. Thank you very much for your generosity, Laurie. Very, very beautiful of you. Thank you. I was also saying that it started out being a tough old week, but I'm feeling good. I've hit the hurdle, I've overcome, and I'm feeling good again. And I survived. I survived doing grade 4 with Harrison. I survived. It's been a long time since I've had to do grade 4. He kept saying, Auntie Joanne, what's this shape? Oh, and it's like it was a trapezium, rhomboid. And I'm going, oh, rhomboid. What does a rhomboid look like? I don't know. It was a long time ago. Let's face it. Unless you got little kids, when was the last time you had to deal with a rhomboid? Yeah, it was very interesting to be part of online school, virtual school. And anyway, the teacher gave Harrison did all of his work, handed everything in, and the teacher gave him he got a very good message from the teacher to say how great his work was. So there you go. We did very well. Oh, it was interesting to say the least. Yeah. So hopefully you've all I hope you all have had a good night's sleep, and you've all done, you had a good day yesterday. I might have to just switch off. Yeah, so tonight we are going to look at some stuff that's happening around the world. We're not going to talk about a certain creator who has apparently solved the crime, has put on Twitter that they know who it was, and it was who they thought it was, whatever that means. So you might, well, that's the thing. It wasn't till it was like, oh, because he's asking, and it wasn't until I saw it that I went, oh yeah, I sort of know that shape. But then we had to find a cardboard box, and we had to pull it apart, and he had to trace around it, and then we had to rebuild it. And he had to do a summary, and he because of his learning issues, he will quite often say he can't do it. So I had to sort of break it down step by step and say, now, what's the book title? Who's the main character? And so I had to do those leading type questions so that he would then, anyway, he was so proud of himself that he actually completed. He goes, it's been a long, he doesn't normally get all his work done, but he's got all his work done and more today. So he was very happy. So, yeah. And tomorrow he's making lasagna because that's one of the, he's got to do an activity that has measuring in it as an extension activity. So he's cooking lasagna tomorrow. So he also spoke to Poppy Seeds this morning, was sending messages to Poppy Seeds on Discord today as well. So he was quite happy. I've just taken off slow mode too. Yeah. It's funny, this stream's already gone limited, and all I've talked about is surviving 4th grade. It's just gone. Oh, you don't think you could say... Oh, look, it was definitely interesting. I mean, it was all done by 11:40, so it was really just the morning. And so the teacher would sort of do a 20-minute presentation, and then they would go away and do the work, and then at the top of the next hour they would be back again. So it worked out quite well. But he did his summary and he had 40 minutes to spare, and he was so excited. He was ringing up everyone to tell him he'd done all his work. I don't think I could. I really hope regional Victoria doesn't go into lockdown again. I don't think I've got the 7th of... Well, Shepparton's sitting on 12. Shepparton's sitting on 12 cases, and I believe that there is a place in Bendigo that is an exposure site, and my auntie's foster children had to bring all their school stuff home today. Was told to take their stuff home over the weekend. So my auntie in Bendigo believes that they're not back at school on Monday. That's her interpretation. No, nothing official, but when the teachers tell you to take your stuff home, she sort of is thinking maybe. Oh, my laugh is saying, oh, thank you, Laurie. Yeah, Laurie, you're just lovely. Shepparton schools are closed too. I would assume Shepparton schools are closed too. My books are creased now. Now, let me have a look. Let me find out for you. Delecas, Delecca. It's the Bendigo advertiser has advertised it. Delecas. It's listed as a COVID-19 exposure site. So here. Here, this exposure site. A person from Shepparton visited Bendigo. So Bendigo Machinery Hire businesses closed up after a positive COVID-19 visited last week. We got a notification from the Department of Health on Friday. We were told that someone from Shepparton had visited last week and has since tested positive. So Bendigo could be in trouble too, because that person has now, there is 12 people now positive. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I saw something very interesting in Sydney, and I'm hoping that it's a joke. But somebody tweeted that there are 2 electorates in Sydney that aren't under a curfew. So Sydney's now gone to a curfew. Really, they're going back to mandatory masks. So this is going around Twitter, and I'm hoping that this is a joke. But I have a feeling it's not, unfortunately, but I hope it's a joke. Have a look at this. This is going around Twitter at the moment. and it's causing a lot of anger. So Sydney incorporated a curfew. So Sydney and Melbourne now have curfews from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. However, there's 2 electorates that do not have curfews. Have a look at those 2 electorates. I have asked. As I said, I hope it's a joke. He had to bring his books home too? Yeah. I had heard about the Bendigo. I hadn't worked out. I hadn't come up with the link of how there was a positive case. Yeah, I hadn't worked out how the positive case, but now I know it's linked to Shepparton. So it would seem that where the Prime Minister lives, or his electorate, and the Premier's electorate in New South Wales are both not under curfew, but everywhere else is. As I said, I hope it's a joke, because it's highly grossly unfair if it's true. Highly unfair if it's true. I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have. As I said, I have not been able to work out whether it's true, but I just find it very interesting that the Prime Minister's electorate, which is here, and the Premier of New South Wales electorate, which is here, doesn't seem to have a curfew, but everywhere else has. And if that is true, that's pretty disgusting, in my opinion. If that is true, because that's offensive. Hello, cheap glass. Yes, that guy, if it's true, yeah. Well, there's lots of anger on Twitter over that photo. So, as I said, I don't know whether it's true or not. Hello, the fox. So Jordan dropped another video today, and he ripped into the Premier. We might watch that if you're interested. He actually does a rap. He sings a rap. He's not a singer. He's not a singer. Oh, cool. We are lucky compared to you guys and US. We only have 12 cases in my province and 1 exposure in my city. Well, that's good. But as we've seen with the Delta, 1 case. So there was 1 case in regional Victoria this morning, and by tonight it's 12. So there is a meeting going on there's a meeting happening overnight with all the health officials. You want to see Jordan in a that Sydney lockout rap was good too. I did see that one. I have been watching some of that stuff. But he's really going after the Premier of New South Wales at the moment. Really hard. But then he's in lockdown. What else has he got to do? Actually, he implies, and it's a very interesting implication, but he implies that part of the reason why Sydney, they haven't been bothered to do anything, that they've taken so long to do anything in Sydney, is that ICAC can't meet, the Corruption Commission can't meet if they're in lockdown. And by her dawdling, it has meant that she hasn't had to face the Anti-Corruption Commission, which I think is pretty bad if that is true. If there's any truth to that, which would be a purely and wholly selfish reason to go into ignore health advice, but it would make sense, because why would you want to face the Corruption Commission if you can avoid that? Why wouldn't you? Well, yeah, we all need haircuts. We all need haircuts. Look at my hair. My hair's getting gross. I don't think we'll be out of lockdown. I think to be honest with you, I'm looking at the end of September. Oh, she'd never admit to it. You're right, Plan to Create. She'd never admit to it. But it was when I heard it, I first of all thought, that's really far-fetched. And the more I thought about it, the more I went, It's interesting. It does actually make sense that, because why else would they? I can't come up with any other reason why you would ignore health advice. You know? And you've got all of our health advisors going, we don't want to be like Sydney. We don't want to be like Sydney. This is the evidence that we've got. This is the medical advice. And you hear our Premier always talking about that everything is based on medical advice. You know, and but that team's meeting tonight. Yes, I heard that. There was a mad bomber. Didn't he advertise on, I saw something on YouTube. Did he do a live stream or something? Oh, really? Your family? Michael O'Brien posted something on his Facebook page. And I pointed out that Jeff Kennett was the one that destroyed the mental health. Wow, I have been called all sorts of names. I was told that I was drunk. I was told that I had too many drugs. I was told I was an idiot. So people said, you're an idiot. And I said, well, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I did tell the person that said that I'd had too many drugs. I told them that I found it offensive. But, you know, well, she was talking about opening everything up again. And I was thinking, what on earth are you doing? So, yeah, so I've been getting a lot of hate on Michael O'Brien's Facebook page. Well, considering he blocked me on Twitter because I called him a tool. But yeah, I copped it because he was talking about mental health and complaining about mental health. And I said, well, you know, Jeff Kennett, you know, was responsible for the destruction of the mental health of Victoria. And yeah, so I copped it. That's all right. And then I said, so what is your suggestion then as to how to deal with COVID? Because it's a worldwide issue and no leader in the world has been able to successfully defeat it. And even those countries that are living with it are struggling. I know I have cowlicks. I know I've always had cowlicks. They're horrible. I don't like them, but apparently people pay to get them put in, they tell me. That doesn't make... Oh, yeah, true. Were you? I didn't even watch it. I just saw, hey, I just went, she's bringing in a curfew, and I went, oh, that sounds like Victoria. Oh. But anyway, let me find that Gladys, there's a Gladys rap song. So let's have a look at the Gladys rap song. Average civil lawyer costs $300 an hour. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah, Swollen Pickles has done this again. So let's watch Swollen Pickles for a little bit. Look, I think I wish I could, but I have somebody that I know who just absolutely loves ScoMo and Gladys and hates Dan. And so I said to him today, I said, but Gladys is doing exactly what Dan's done, yet you're criticizing Dan, but you're saying that Gladys is doing the right thing. But she's just brought in a curfew. She brings in the curfew, it's good. He brought in the curfew, it's bad. I said, isn't that double standard? I think it is. We have a crooked government. My daughter goes to college in his district. Wow. Oh, Kevin 07. Oh, wow. Well, when you look at how, I mean, everyone laughed at Kevin 07 and everything, but considering that we were the only country not to go into recession during the financial crisis, and we all got ruddy money, that ends up being a lifesaver, and, you know, that's what we really need now to kickstart the economy. Right, so here is Swollen Pickles remix featuring MC Hazard. This is hilarious. How much longer do you reckon Hazard will keep his job?
Welcome to New South Wales.
Oops.
Good morning, everybody. Please no, 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 please no. Nobody from New South Wales is going anywhere. Welcome to New South Wales. And I'm experienced here. Please no, please no, please no, please no, please no, please no. There are plenty of things you can't do in New South Wales. You guys. Welcome to New South Wales. Read it, read it, read it. It's early days, and I don't want to regret what I'm about to say. Jokes not. Please no, can I say please no? Based on all the advice, we also have to keep it real. Please no, as predicted. The trick is in the numbers. Green shoots are there. Whenever I use the word imminent, it means very soon. Please no, you guys, Delta is here in Australia. I'm not sure if people aren't listening to what I'm saying. Delta is different. End of the day, we don't have that here. Please no, please no, please no, please no. The buck stops with me. Most of the time, that's not true. There is fleeting contact. Please no, please no, please no. Please Hazard is different. MC Hazard, take us to the bridge.
I also just want to say,
MC Hazard, come on, man.
Get back, baby. I love that car.
It is essential. Party. Now, it's not compulsory. Party. But it is essential. Party. Compulsory. Party. But because the light, the sunshine, the rays are essential. Essential. It is essential. Party involved. It's very dangerous. Please no. 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 Based on all the lights, no. But it's great. Please no. Please no. Please no. Having a party. Sure, people aren't listening to what I'm saying. I want to make this clear. We don't want anyone to cancel any events. Having a party on the Premier, jazz in arms, buck stops with me. I probably shouldn't have said the last sentence, but you know what I mean. See you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
No, if the buck stops with her, why she still got? Well, Victoria did an inquiry, and people, you know, lost their jobs and resigned. But you know, I admit, you know, everyone's still flying by the seat of their pants. But we know. Oh, what did Cal say? Sorry, she could have. Yes, true. How would be Keating? Well, it's interesting because Friendly Geordies in his video actually refers. He uses the term scumbag, and it's been a while since I've heard the terms. It's been a while since I've heard someone called a scumbag. Okay. So this is Friendly Geordies. I'm going to encourage you all to go and watch it so that you can give him the money. But considering that he's been sued by the Deputy Premier, he's going hard against the government. So let's have a look at this. And some of the stuff he says in here is pretty shocking. So let's have a look. And he does sing. I'll need to warn you.
If your mum is one of those hippie hangovers, mums whose phone calls are essentially telemarketing for whatever they found as the food co-op that day, do you wash your mouth out with coconut oil? No, I've got to go. It's also good for your face. Sorry, not interested. Wait! Ellen's finished and I don't know what to do with the rest of my day. If you can relate, you've probably heard of the book Silent Spring. Heard of it, not read it, because the cover has that, it smells funny in there, look about it. But the name Silent Spring...
Is that the new one? That's not today's one. Sorry, I messed up. That one, that's not today's one. I had one today. Oh, wait on, 2 days ago, 4 days ago. Hang on. I've messed. This is it. 9 hours ago. She's trying to blame me for lockdown. Sorry, I played the wrong one. This is it. It's had 138,000 views so far. We need it to have more.
To start this video off, I thought I'd only do what's fair. I want to treat you guys in lockdown, so I'm going to give you the most friendly Jordan's gag ever. I've got a list all the things I think Gladys Berejiklian looks like. This New South Wales politician looks like this thing. How can it get any more?
All right. So this New South Wales politician looks like this thing.
Friendly Geordies. Maybe if I was wearing a woman's wig, but I can't be bothered to go in the other room and get one. But instead, I will do it in the style of a Pokemon rap with about 2.5 minutes of prepping. Let's go, kids! Gonzo, Ibis, Big Bird, Dobby, Cassowary, Fieries, Creature Christmas music video, Goblin, Gababa, Witches from the Witches, Evil Brazilian Big Bird, Sleepless Squidward, King Secret Threat, Titillation Speed from Gladys B. Skeggs is from Dark Crystal, the puppet from Saw, and who could forget the penis snake? Yeah, you did it, guys! Oh yeah, 151st view entrant, Superwoman. What? I've had a lot of time to think in lockdown. You think that was too bad? I'm not asking you, Nicole Flint.
Remember how, so shout out to John Barilaro for holding the awful friendly Geordies to account for their dangerous and disgusting behaviour. When our Albo MP and Australian Labor are going to do the same and cut their ties with these terrible individuals, I'm still waiting to find out. So he's put that up there. All the references. Now, Poppy Seeds was saying that she was looking at all the case law, or she was doing some reading today and was talking about there could be about parliamentary privilege, and we were having a discussion about whether they could actually appeal. Could be a possibility that they could appeal the justice's decision.
I'll make a list for you another day. Anyway, don't blame me. It's not my fault Jim Henson was a time traveller. How was I supposed to stop him from going into the future and base all of his puppet designs off the Premier of New South Wales? Even then, what Jim did is not as mean as what she's done, causing thousands of new COVID cases and throwing 8 million people in lockdown because you're more interested in preserving the image than you are in preserving the hospital system.
All right. What do you reckon about that joke about Jim Henson and the Muppets? He does actually need a haircut. I will admit that. Oops, no, we're not up to there. Where did we go? I shouldn't have touched today.
It's for you another day. Anyway, designs off the Premier of New South Wales. Even then, what Jim than you are in preserving the whole. I'm being a little too mean. It's not just her image that has formed all of Gladys's awful decisions. It's her corruption too. I've heard through the grapevine a rumour that one of the reasons the tired Squidward has been reluctant to bring any restrictions that will significantly slow the spread of Delta, not to take us out of lockdown anyway, is because ICAC can't operate well remotely. Apparently, the longer she draws out the lockdown, the longer she gets to stay Premier. Every day longer you're locked up looks a little better on her resume. And you know, that resume is looking a little scanned at the moment, seeing as she got caught out lying about being ducks and even misled Parliament about it. Sorry, that story really slipped past, but I need to emphasise this again. You know, I'm always saying that we're run by a bunch of people that have school captured syndrome. Verity Clear actually campaigned on a school achievements that she made up and lied to Parliament about it when she was caught.
I repeat the response. I've never claimed that, others have, and I've corrected the record when that incorrect record is being made. I was the girl ducks every year.
Even if
Yeah, I have no idea, Anthony, anything about Friendly Jollies, his background, what he is, what he isn't. What he is, what he isn't, I don't know.
how ridiculous that story is. Causing a lockdown for your resume does sound incredibly far-fetched. But then again, so does a corruption body exposing that the Premier had a secret relationship backbencher. Then in the relationship, that backbencher going on to get the Premier to do all sorts of favours, such as taking over commissions to help facilitate his corruption, all of it accumulating with the Premier herself lying countless times, and the public getting to see her reaction as she's played the phone call intercepts that beyond a shadow of a doubt prove her subterfuge, with the public not objecting to that blatant corruption. In fact, Gladys getting a boost in popularity from it. Wait, I keep making mistakes. That doesn't sound far-fetched. That sounds like an episode of The Wire. She...
That was, I remember I actually watched that day, the day they played the tape with the phone call of her and Maguire, and up until that point she was still denying a lot. I know he's clearly a propaganda arm of the Labor government. I don't know. A lot of them are trying to distance themselves from him, from what I can work out.
Man, play game with the game, Davis game. Bear's coming! Oh shit! Bear ain't leaving till he gets his grants, dude. Still, you can't deny that at the very least, ICAC would be in the back of her mind. You finding a book you borrowed from your high school library under your bed years later stresses you out, let alone a corruption commission poking around your heart and down.
Hi, Bo. How are you? Yeah, I guess I'm late. I'm sorry.
Remember a woman who should be writing CD reviews for JB Hi-Fi, Alex Smith, writing, "Can we have a Premier who trusts so willingly?" How about, can we have a press that trusts so willingly? Because if you do something Alex Smith never does, which is look at reality, they're constant total.
Okay, so the Liberal National Party are classed as, I guess, conservatives, and I don't know, what's the Labor Party? Well, I never know how they fit. So yeah, the Liberal National Party, which is the government at the moment, is like more of a conservative party. I don't know whether that's left. Is that right? Labor is semi-progressive, semi-conservative, possibly. They're more progressive than Labor has more of a social conscience than the LNP. My grandma used to tell me that the LNP only looked after the rich, and if you wanted to have the blue collar workers or the working class looked after, you had to vote Labor. That was what my grandmother told me. So hopefully that helps. That's all she ever did was that's what she said. That's how she used to describe it. But we all need to dislike governments like it was. People think that my support for Dan during the pandemic means that I support him in everything. I don't support everything that he does. But I do support the stance that he's taken during COVID. And that's different. Oh, has he? Our Prime Minister's called an election. Nice.
into this dunce of nothing has definitively helped spread COVID. As undeniable a fact as Turning Loose by the Young Divas is the greatest song ever made. I gotta do it my way. No, but seriously, I wish you all the best. Young Divas Reunion 2021. Come on, we need our spirits lifted after COVID. Failing that, at the very least, tell me what the happened to Savage. The press for a year chastised Dan Andrews for daring to follow health advice. And when it was time for Berejiklian to do the same, they encouraged her to put the lockdown off. Then when that got too late, they encouraged her to do a week lockdown. Then when that got too late, they encouraged her to take the vaccines from the regions and helped her spread the lie that it was about getting kids to do their HSC. Then when that got too late, they helped her shift the blame from her own abysmal decision-making to steering at people who aren't vaccinated, despite the minor plot hole that most people can't get vaccinated. Journalists deserve to have curses put on them that make them infertile. Every step of the way, the press has helped Bin Chicken delay the inevitable. They've encouraged terrible policy decisions from go to woe, yet when it comes to woe, instead of turning around and admitting, oh, sorry, it turns out she got a really boring shit on some cold, they instead write, she thought she could trust you. Sydney Morning Herald exclusive into why your inability to stay inside is stressing out Gladys. Yeah. 2 questions about that. First off, why the are you buying a newspaper that's more or less saying exclusive into why you want to blame for the Young Divas breaking up? Second, how, in any way, is it your fault that she didn't follow the health advice?
Okay, yeah. I guess, yeah, Labor Party would be centrist. That you've got, but the thing is, both parties have people to the left and the right. I would like to think that I like to sit in the middle. I like to be on the fence. So I think that's a good place to be. As you've seen with a lot of the stuff that's happening on YouTube, a lot of the drama, I just sit in the middle.
Especially when not only did her government not follow their health advice, they stopped you from knowing what it is. Here's Health Minister and future Parkleigh prison inmate Brad Hazzard doing exactly that.
Would you be able to provide on notice to the committee the escalating issues that were raised prior to the lockdown on the 25th?
I'll answer that because obviously those issues go to Crisis Cabinet, which is a subcommittee of the Cabinet. But Dr. Chan is under oath and she's given you the evidence, which is quite clear. So
there is something that really, really, really shocks me about this. Sorry, Joe, I do respect that. That's okay. You're, to be perfectly honest with you, some LNP policies are good, some are bad. Some Labor policies are good, some are bad. I like to take the good from both sides, put them together, and I think you've got the best. There's something, and this isn't the first time I've heard this, but I heard that the police minister and the police commissioner aren't on crisis cabinet, which really disturbs me considering that you need law enforcement on your side. Why aren't you getting advice, for example, from the commissioner or the police minister on law enforcement in crisis cabinet? Did he call it now? I don't think he's called an election, has he? So, yeah, so this is the rest of it.
He refused to release the Chief Health Officer's advice regarding lockdown. In fact, it gets better. Andrew Clennell revealed that Gladys Berejiklian rebuffed the CHO's advice for a tougher lockdown at the start of August. It's a pretty weird hill to die on. I love a lockdown, but at least in the lockdown you can go 10 kilometres to exercise, not 5. Oh, well, while we're at it, why don't we make the rules masks if cold, no masks if woolies? How do you have to put one of those boxes over your head that they give you to pack your stuff in?
Masks in Coles, no masks in Woolies. A box in Aldi. I know that sounds far-fetched, but
really don't understand why if you're making a cake, you'd say, I'll just put in double the flour the recipe says. That'll produce exactly the same result. And again, I have to preface the next sentence with, I'm not joking, because this certainly does seem like a joke. The Berejiklian's media director is in the crisis cabinet. That really says everything you need to know about the Liberals' priorities, doesn't it? 8 million in lockdown. Assemble. Chief Health Officer, Police Minister, Police Commissioner, Premier, Treasurer, and of course, some guy called Sean Berry. Qualifications used to be on 7 News. Look, this is all well and good, but the real crisis is if we don't get a photo of her wearing a mask. Sorry, I misled you again. The Police Minister and Commissioner aren't in the crisis cabinet. They had to make way for Sean Berry. That could just be it.
Actually, they do have a crisis cabinet. They have a leadership team. It includes the Cho, it includes Jerome, it includes Foley, it includes Dan, and there's one other, and the police in it. So yes, because there's meetings tonight over the cases in Shepparton. So he's not a one-man band. So I would dispute that. It was just like when I commented on O'Brien's page, and I was told somebody tried to tell me that the Premier was the health minister, and I went, no. This is the name of the health minister. I suggest you do your research if you want to come back at me. Martin Fall is the health minister, and he's on crisis. He's in crisis cabinet. But Jerome's the COVID. He's the one to oversee the pandemic and the COVID testing. So he's got to be in it. Some guy, I know.
Testament for how shit Mick Fuller and David Elliott are. But in all likelihood, it's just yet another testament for what Gladys cares about. Her image. How she looks to be handling a crisis is her crisis. If you think that there is any other reason for that, why then did Sean and the gang decide that instead of announcing a statewide lockdown in the press conference, you know, those COVID ones that they've been having every single day, oh no, a statewide lockdown isn't newsworthy enough for a press conference. That's not Gladys announcing that her job's tough. Here's a genius idea. We'll put that out on John Barilaro's Twitter. You know, the guy that gets about 25 likes. Star power. Sean's
he's gonna cast some really big shade in a minute, and it's quite funny. Zinger Box, thank you very much. He's gonna cast some shade, and he's gonna reference the fact that Brazz's block list probably is bigger than his sub list. Who else do you know that has a block list bigger than their sub list?
instinct, obviously, is to bury news that makes Mary Shipman look bad. The problem is that news that makes her look bad is vital public health information. Also, why Barilaro's Twitter account? That man has 12,000 followers. I have like 7 times the followers of John Barilaro on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he's probably blocked more people than follow him. In fact, some of the people he's blocked are members of Parliament. Those members of Parliament could be informed of the statewide lockdown because maybe a year ago they asked, hey, why did you vote against the Royal Commission into the MDBA? Shut the f*** up!
I should laugh. Yeah. He's saying, I love how he's saying, he's Braz only has 28 whatever thousand. Well, I've got double that. I've got 75,000. Like they could have got me to announce it. I know, hey. There's some there's Braz and KJ have a lot of similarity. Have a lot of similar traits actually. You reckon so? I don't know. I wouldn't say Andrews is anything like Trump myself. But hey.
Guys, Twitter. Mr. Botox was the pivotal node of communication. God, that fills me with confidence if a comment ever comes hurtling towards Sydney. Last tweet ever made. You Sydney speakers deserve that shit for looking down on the bush. One of my houses! We know from experience Sean's not just an idiot, but a slimy idiot. When my producer Christo had a press pass,
He's not just an idiot, I'd say he's a slimy idiot. He's casting shade. Well, I think you'll also find that you cannot fault Andrews for facing the media every single day of when we were in a hard lockdown. Every single day, 100 and whatever days it was in a row, he was there every single day. Well, don't forget that Braz is suing Friendly Geordies. Don't forget. For doing the Italian accent. That's one of the complaints.
He called up Sean to get the press conference list. Sean said he contacted later. Christo kept calling, kept getting ignored, until one day he got an email saying where the press conference was. So he went to the press conference, got let in, asked a question that Sean didn't like, so the cops tried to kick him out. Christo informed the cops he'd spoken to Sean. Sean said he'd never spoken to Christo in his life. He even gave Sean a chance to remember the call. Sean still denied it. So then Christo showed the cops the phone records from days earlier that proved Sean was lying. What a dickhead. He also threatened Andrew Clennell for doing his job. When Andrew asked about the biggest corruption scandal in recent history, Sean texted him legal threats to shut him up. So here's the thing. Why is a scumbag like that, with a completely unimportant, utterly irrelevant bullshit job, very little difference between him and an events organizer. It's basically that chick at one of those lame Red Bull fundraisers. I think the bar should go there. No, there. Yeah.
What do you doubt? Sorry, Cal. I can't remember what I said. I apologize. Oh, wow. A COVID spreader event. Oh, that'd be... Yeah. I can't remember what I said, Cal. Sometimes I do that. I don't listen to myself. Trump has nothing to do with anything. I'm talking about Andrews. Oh, with Andrews? Really? You think there is? I don't know. As I said, I don't think so, but that's just my opinion. I'm very vocal against him for other things, but most people only jump on the fact that I support his COVID strategy. That's all. All right.
That's a vibe. Today is literally going to slap. But instead of making calls to get balloons, he lies to cops without thinking. Yet this man seems to have more say than the police commissioner or minister during a crisis that he helped create. Thanks to truly baffling decisions the crisis cabinet have made, COVID has gotten far west Indigenous communities. That is truly an accomplishment. It's spreading into areas with health systems that rival the third world. And yet, weeks ago, no doubt with the help of Sean Perry, the government was taking vaccines from those areas. Every week I'm amazed at how they manage to outdo themselves. I really can't stress how strange it is to be shocked every week by a government. You think, no, they've maxed out, they've hit the point in the 100-metre dash where a man physically can't run any faster, and then boom, come Friday, impossible is nothing.
Yeah, sure. Look, I probably will be there. You support, well, most people in WA do support Mark McGowan. I mean, he's just now told anybody that from New South Wales, if they're anyone from WA who's in New South Wales, that they're not coming back even on compassionate. They're about to make it that so nobody can enter from New South Wales. So you support Bunnings. Has Trump said anything about what's happening in Affliate Afghanistan.
They top themselves. Make no mistake about it. We are going to be ravaged by COVID for months. You and I are going to suffer for a long time. Our entire lives have been turned upside down because of this woman's willful negligence and damage. The social and economic repercussions of this will be massive. It could have all been avoided. Lord knows it could have been avoided. We showed you them snubbing basic measures of COVID prevention. We showed you the stats for a year and a half, a baffling display of hubris. And the simple fact is, regardless of whether the rumours are true or not, due to what's being exposed in IPAC, her f***ing up COVID is good for her image. Given that that's the character of the woman in charge, what else can you expect other than this exact outcome? Hashtag quit Gladys. Leave it on every, and I do mean every post she makes on social media. Make this everything people see when they search Berejiklian. Come on, let's give Sean Berry an actual reason to be on the crisis cabinet. Like and subscribe. Get a brush shirt available at friendlyjoys.com. I'll see you next week.
So anyway, that was his video. So he's gone in for, as I said, he's gone in for the kill. And Quick Gladys is actually trending on Twitter at the moment too. So just want to show you this. So I saw this. I'm going to just do a complete change. So we're going to. He complains he left by. Oh, okay. Did he? Oh, okay. I wondered because I haven't seen anything. So I'm going to talk about CA at the moment. So a WA police officer has actually been charged in relation to CA. So when I first saw this earlier today, there was not a lot of information other than just to say that he was he'd been stood down from duty, and he'd been granted bail. So they've actually named him now. So a police officer in West Australia's Midwest, charged with several offences relating to CA, has been granted bail. He was stood down from duty after he was arrested and charged by the Australian Federal Police. He appeared in the Geraldton Magistrates Court, charged with 7 counts of possessing or controlling CA material obtained or accessed using a carriage system. He was not required to plead to the charges, which carries a maximum penalty of 15 years in prison and a $199,800 fine. The Commonwealth prosecutor told the court it would be alleged multiple conversations relating to CA, including drugging and our children, were found on 2 mobile phones and a laptop seized during a search of his home. I wonder too, Graham. He told the officers he was the owner of all 3 devices and was the only person who had access to them. The prosecutor said bail was strongly opposed by the Crown due to the concern he could interfere with witnesses or attempt to destroy evidence. Duty lawyer Karen Ward said that he was willing to abide by strict conditions preventing him from being in contact with children and accessing internet. He was granted bail with strict protective conditions and a $40,000 personal undertaking with a similar to surety. He is due to reappear in court in Perth on September 24th. There's more to come. So that's pretty horrifying that a police officer, he was a senior constable at the time, 37. So he appeared in the Geraldton Magistrates Court, which is a long, long way away from Perth. So now he has to appear in Perth. So he's going to have to travel down to Perth. So it's Geraldton, is that 6 or 8 hours from Perth, from memory? So it's really horrifying. So Geraldton to Perth is a 4-hour, it's a 4-hour 18. So I'll just give you a bit of an idea of how vast WA is. So Perth is here. Geraldton's here. It's a 4-hour, 18-minute drive from Perth to Geraldton. So just to sort of give you a bit of a perspective. So he was charged in the local court in Geraldton, and so he's got to go down to Perth. So just so that you can see, yeah, it's 420 kilometres from Perth to Geraldton, and that's in one state. That's one state, or you can do a 5-hour drive. So, as I said, just to give you some type of perspective, what we're talking about when we talk about Midwest. So it's in the Midwest of Western Australia. So yeah, there you go. Hey, John, how are you? Oh. Oh, hello. Am I there? You there? Is everybody there? Oh, well, my screen just stopped working. Jero's just up the road. Oh, for a lot of the locals it is, yeah. I just I lost my computer. I just lost screen, my second screen. Hang on. Your last drive. Cool. Hello. I'm frozen. That'd be right. I think my screen's just disconnected itself. Just hold on for a moment. Stupid. All right. It might disappear again. I know it's not working. Okay. Not okay. Not too pleased that Gladys tacked a third week. I know. Tacked another. Well, if it's going to make you feel any better, it's going to make you feel any better. John, I have no doubt that we will be longer too. So, oh, we were just talking about Perth to Geraldton. Yeah, so that's all right. My screen's working. My second screen's working again. So, this is, after that one, this is a little bit more lighthearted. So it's got meet the man who created Canberra's COVID lockdown legend, Ken Behrens. So this guy works in captioning. So his job is to do the captioning of the press conferences. So he uses a voice to text app. And before it goes to air, he just goes through and makes sure that there aren't any typos and corrects the spelling. But there's one that got through. And it was funny. He heard everyone talking about this press conference and thought one of his workmates was playing a trick on him. Oh, my camera's gone now. Hello? As long as you can hear me, that's okay. I'll just turn off my anyway. And anyway, so he said Friday the 13th started off just like any day for Mitch Bowery. He was working in his role at a captioning company, spending the day transcribing spoken English into subtitles. By the end of the shift, a legend had been born. His name was Ken Behrens. A week ago, Mr. Bowery had been assigned a mammoth task, capturing the ACT's COVID-19 press conference. You can see and hear me good. During the second day of the territory's lockdown, Mr. Bowery explained to ABC Radio Canberra that to do this, he used voice-to-text software to transcribe most of the words before changing any typos and fixing up any grammatical problems. But there was one word Mr. Bowery did not catch in time. I will admit I've had trouble with the word Canberrans before, he said. So when ACT's Chief Minister Andrew Barr took a moment to thank Canberrans for for their hard work embracing the snap lockdown. The caption suggested Mr. Barr had thanked Ken Behrens. So it was supposed to be Ken Behrens, but it came up with Ken Behrens. For the thousands of Canberrans who suddenly found themselves confined to their homes in the midst of a lockdown, the mistake became a welcome comic relief that spread through social media. Hey, CBR, take it from me, Ken Behrens. You can attend your COVID-19 vaccination appointment during lockdown, provided you are well and not in isolation or quarantine. Getting vaccinated is one of the 6 reasons that you can leave your home. So it says, attend your COVID vaccination appointment. It's one of the 6 essential reasons you can leave your home during lockdown. Ken Behrens. The Canberra Raiders NRL team changed their name on their social media to Ken Behrens Raiders merchandise, including T-shirts reading, "We are all Ken Behrens," sprung up over ACT posted about Ken Behrens' compliance with restrictions, and even the checking CBR app was across the latest territory-wide joke. I must say the check-in CBR folk do have a sense of humour. Improvements to check-in history for Ken Behrens, and squashed a few. The ACT police said, I am staying at home. I am only leaving home for essential reasons. I am wearing a mask wherever I go. I am Ken Behrens. When a friend posted the mistake on social media, Mr. Barry initially thought someone was responsible for the typo. I thought, oh, someone's made a mistake. I sort of was sitting there thinking, yeah, I'll get all the juicy goss, he joked. As soon as I saw the screenshot, I had a heart-sinking moment. He realised it was him. He had created Ken Behrens. Mr. Bowie said he always had a soft spot for the national capital, and being part of something that had brought Ken Behrens so much joy in the middle of a lockdown was silver lining. We captioners always sort of joke that, you know, you're not a real captioner until you've had some sort of absolute clanger to go to air. The best part is trying to see the bright side of any mistake, and this is one of the brightest sides I could have asked for. So this is the screen. I would like to thank Ken Behrens for doing the right thing. So it was supposed to be Ken Behrens, but as he was captioning, he missed it. I don't know, John. I'm sorry that it's not doing that for you. I don't know what's going on. I've taken off slow mode, but yeah. So instead of being Ken Behrens, it was Ken Behrens. So I reckon that is funny. So, yeah. Bendigo is trending on Twitter at the moment too because of the hotspot. Or the So look, let me just check to make sure that I did turn off, that I don't have slow mode going. Don't think I do. I've got 28 people. If it's on, I'll make sure it is turned off. So yeah, so Ken Behrens. So best I have a look at Twitter. Yes, yeah, it's come up as my trending in Australia, Bendigo. I am going to imagine they're not going to make a decision. I don't think they're going to make an announcement overnight. They don't usually make the announcements overnight, do they? For lockdowns? So, So, yes. So, anyone had anything exciting happen to them in the last 24 hours? Any news? Anything at all? Anything that anybody wants to talk about? If you want to, I can check up to see what's happening in Afghanistan. I haven't really done much of a check on Afghanistan today, I have to admit, but learn Outback WA. I need to learn Outback. Oh, I used to live in WA. I can learn Outback WA. I actually spent a lot of time north of the river, and then I spent some time, ended up living south of the river for the last lot of my time in WA. And I have to say, after being a north of the river person for a long time, I really enjoyed being south of the river. But boy, was there a rivalry. Ask anyone north of the river to go south and you'd have a mutiny on your hands. But the southerners always went north. It's like now I live west and in the western suburbs. I'm always going to the eastern suburbs, but you ask someone from the eastern suburbs to come to the western suburbs, and I swear you've just asked them to go to Sydney or something. You know, they think that it's such a long way. So I started off, I lived in Balcatta and then Balga, then Westminster. Then I moved to Jandakot. So, yeah. Oh, cool. Nervous and excited for it at the same time. That sounds like that is going to be very exciting, cheap class. Get her cochlear implants. It's definitely going to make a difference to her. In fact, I used to live just around the corner from the Jandakot airport. So there you go. My children went to Leeming Primary School. So for a while. Yeah. The last house I had in Jandakot had a pool and an in-ground pool and a spa. Boy, that pool needed lots of work. Every day I'd have to be out there working on it. So anyway. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm actually going to call it a night. We've done an hour. I know it's really early. I don't really have anything else to talk about unless somebody wants to start up a topic. And I've got a lot of work to do, but I'm feeling a lot better. So thank you everybody for your messages. I know that some people have put some stuff in my PayPal account. You're all very naughty, but it is very much appreciated. And I'm actually Victorian, Cal. I'm actually Victorian. It's a long story. My kids are West Australian though, but now live in Victoria. In fact, my children haven't seen their dad for 2 years because, in fact, he was actually going to come and see them in June, but we were locked down. Every time they plan a visit, they get locked down. So, yeah, so their dad's in WA. Well, Dan did say today that it was, you know, we were in lockdown not because of anything that we'd done, but we need to do the right thing. Otherwise, we'll be in extended lockdown. I think we'll be in lockdown. I think we'll be in lockdown at least until the end of September. That's what I think. That's just my thought process. looking at how things are going at the moment. Just very concerned. I mean, there's only a couple of weeks now till school holidays. School holidays is coming up in September. When is it? School holidays is the 17th. Starts on the 17th of September. So I reckon we'll at least see the rest of this term out online. You moved to Mandurah? Yeah, a lot of people moved to Mandurah. Yeah. Look, one of my lecturers catches the train every day from Castlemaine to the university, and he said it's a 3-hour train ride there and 3 hours back. But he does all his work on the train, and then when he's home, he then doesn't have to worry about work. So I couldn't do it myself, but I think so. I think you're right. I think you're right, Cal. But I have to tell you that with this Delta variant, you just need one person. You just need one positive person in WA, and then you're done, to be honest with you. That's what we're seeing. That's what's happened in Shepparton. One person equals 12. And every single state has had a quarantine breach. And the stats, if you look at the law of averages, WA is due for another one. Hate to tell you. They're due for another one. I'm sorry. It's just the way that it's been going at the moment. Yeah. But yeah. I'm really glad that it's gonna Western Australia, sorry. Yeah, WA is Western Australia. I know he doubled down today, but the issue is with doubling down as well is that you also you also insulate yourself as well, which means it can only come from inside, not outside. So anyway, just interesting. But I'm glad that some people, I know South Australia's easing some of their restrictions again now, which is good. Northern Territory are doing some stuff. So yeah, the Therapeutics Goods Administration has approved a treatment for COVID too. I read. I can't remember what it's called, but they've just approved a treatment, so hopefully that will help. Now, Victoria's got one person on a ventilator, I believe. Hello, Wind Whispers. But several in intensive care, so. Oh, thank you, Keno. Yeah. So, the other thing, I'm just going to go back to Harrison for a minute. Harrison's apparently never been so excited to do school as he has been today. So that's good. So he's, I got to see all his finished stuff today as well. And all his finished work. Blue eyes, baby's got blue eyes. Gladys resign. Yes, that's also trending as well. It is. The other one that's trending is vote Josh out. That's Frydenberg. Most Cochrans have those eyes. I was going to say, I think it's a Cochrane thing. Sheba, oh, sweet. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your super sticker, Lady Crane. So generous of you. Just love, everyone is just so lovely and kind. All right, so I was going to go, but see, being isolated has also helped you as well, in some cases. What did Josh Frydenberg do? Apparently he laughed. He was laughing at Victoria again. School, Wind Whispers, school actually has their long summer break over because we're in winter. So we've actually had school right through. So we have our big summer break between December and January. So they do their 6 weeks. So usually they're off for Christmas. And then that's the start of the new year. So we're in the middle of our year. So they do 10-week terms with a 2-week break. So in about how many weeks? I'd say about 3 or 4 weeks, they're back. They've got 2 weeks holidays again. And then they go into term 3. And then, yeah, they're into term. So they're in term 2 at the moment. And so there's 4 terms, generally about 10 weeks long, is it? But anyway, that's how they work. And then they have their big break over December, January. And when they go back in January, that's when they start their new year. Yeah. He did an interview on Sky News, apparently, and because they said about him changing his mind, and he made a joke about the fact that oh, Jeff Kennett's good. I do not want to be alarmist, but I have heard from 2 different sources, food companies being briefed tonight, the Victorian lockdown will last to New Year. If that is a fact, our society as we know it, families, children, small businesses won't survive without great pain. I don't believe that. I believe we'll have some type of restrictions into the new year. And then someone else says, you don't want to be alarmist. It's the point of your tweet. My department does industry engagement. Food companies have been told no such thing. Don't tweet irresponsible BS and then pretend to care about people's well-being. Jeff Kennett. If you want to trigger the guy, tell him about how he destroyed mental health services in Victoria, and it triggers him. Yeah, so vote Josh out is trending, but yeah, he laughed at Victoria. Find you a good Aussie man with long hair, and you'll marry him. Oh dear! If I could find a good-looking Aussie man, Keno, I'd have him myself. Oh. So, yeah, Frydenberg's still saying that Victoria's had the biggest policy failure by locking down. So, it's Friday, girl, play something. I don't know. I believe party donations should be illegal myself. I don't think I think they should have to do it for as low costs and as low budget. That's just my view, Graham. Kenneth was whinging about police being stretched, so I tweeted back, weren't you the one that closed half our police stations? He also closed schools. Yeah, he closed a lot of stuff. Oh, and that's right. He was complaining about so for those of you from overseas, he's an he used to be a Victorian Premier about 20 years ago, and he sold just about all the assets. Anyway, he was complaining about the Victorian government's going to sell. He's talking about selling some type of asset, and I tweeted back at him. I tweeted and said, "You mean you left something? You didn't sell everything off?" Wow, did that trigger him? The guy hasn't blocked me yet. I swear he just likes arguments. He told me I was too young to know. I said, yes, I may be. I called him Mr. Kennett. I may be Mr. Kennett. But my grandma told me the stories about you. And she put a Hitler mustache on him. That's what she thought of him. She did not like him. She did not like him one bit. So I didn't need to. Yes, I was only young at the time, but my grandma was very outspoken about him. Maybe he does. Well, maybe. I think he just likes arguing with me. He must be bored. But the current leader of the Liberal Party blocked me on Twitter too. I mean, he didn't like me calling him a tool. And then I tweeted back and I tweeted back and said that I said, well, you obviously don't want my vote then. That was my response, which after he blocked me, I just said, you don't want my vote then. Oh, really? Dominic Rab, who works for Boris. Wow. What is it with politicians? They're just stupid. So, and then of course there's the big news that OnlyFans is changing their content. All right, see ya. Got to go play music. Well, it's funny because two former prime ministers of Australia, both from opposite political sides, have joined together to insist on an inquiry into Murdoch's control of the media in Australia. So there's a big royal commission going on at the moment, and they both are on opposite sides of politics, and yet they agree, which is really baffling. We know that, and most people think they are crooked and liars. You're right, Robin. Possibly, but he went way too far. And 20 years down the track, we're still paying for those issues. Yes, yes. Prawns are banned now. Talking about that, I want to show you something. I don't know whether you saw. I wasn't going to talk about Katie Joy, but there was just something really odd that happened on her Twitter today. Among other things, other than the declaration that they know who it is. whoever what is. I don't know which of the 100 people she's talking about. And she also showed a picture of a naked Britney Spears on her Instagram, and apparently that doesn't break community guidelines away. So she says, well, OnlyFans is banning porn in October. A lot of people are going to have to find new avenues to make their coin. Brie Olsen, Katie, how am I going to pay for your commercial-free content on the Duggars now? Side hug. Look who replied to you. Haha. Prawn is being banned, not nudity. So then she says here, well, we know with 100% certainty who sent all those threats. We got the right people. Yeah, well, allegedly, Will. Yes, Brie Olsen. And then someone says, are you going to apologize to the people you accused very publicly behind this that weren't? And she laughed. She laughed. Then someone says, so are they being arrested? And someone else said, no one cares. You can't say the other word because, yes, that's right. You'll get in trouble with Ralph. So she's saying that they're 100% certain that they got the right person or people. And then when somebody says, well, are you going to apologize to everybody else that you've accused? Isn't Brie Olsen the one that was with Charlie Sheen when he was Tiger Blood? Was he the one that had Tiger Blood or something? Wasn't she with him at that stage? In fact, I even know that is very bothersome. Well, you know, a few people have wondered whether Katie Joy has got an altar and whether that altar's doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. The corn star. I hadn't thought about saying corn star. I was saying prawns. I think so, Jenna Sweet Tea, but I think she was with Charlie Sheen at some point in time. Yeah, so, but see, for me, I think, getting back to Katie Joy, I think she owes every person that she's accused falsely an apology. Would you agree? She's accused so many people of so many things, and if she's saying they know who it is, then it means that everybody else she's accused has been accused falsely. And now would be a good time to apologize in case they decide to take legal action against her, because she did it rather publicly. Because I tell you what, if she did it to me, I'd be considering my options now, but she hasn't accused me of anything because I'm flying under the radar, which I'm happy about. No, she wouldn't apologize. Next there'll be a big 2 over what constitutes We're talking about corn. So I was around corns. Yes, and there was some kerfuffle that she was babysitting his kids and she was a corn star. Some sort of That's right. She won't apologize? No. But the fact that she laughed about it, I think, is quite horrifying, because it means that I don't know whether the laugh means it's like, you've got to be kidding, I'm not going to apologize, or she's laughing at the mere thought. And then she says, for real though, OnlyFans, you are hurting Bree's ability to get her Duggar tea. After dark. Yes. Come and have your corn. We're going to talk about corn. Apparently she did a premiere today. A love story resurfaces. A super fan who marries a monster, allegedly. So because she shared why is KJ only doing I don't know. Is that where her source is? OnlyFans. Well, people were joking about Toad watching OnlyFans. Talia Westbrook Jones. Oh, look, she's accused just about everybody of being the hackers. If we started to list them, we'd fill a whole pile of pages. I mean, even she even said Todd Chrisley allegedly had, set up email addresses to harass her. She's still talking about that. Todd with that cupcake. Yes, he could do that on OnlyFans and make a killing. He might have to pay. He'll need to find a way to pay for the lawsuits if it keeps going. Oh dear. I don't know what she's trying to do. It's just come out of the blue. And interestingly, she talks about Brittany posing topless doesn't mean she's having the breakdown. My goodness, I can't even fathom people using everything she does as a means to call out her mental health. If she wants to pose topless, let her. Kim Kardashian does it all the time and no one calls her ill. Because she shared Britney Spears topless on her Instagram. But she was talking about... So she showed Britney Spears half naked, and she's talking about OnlyFans. Is that going to be her new platform? Oh, OnlyFans are banning prawns or corn from their sites from October. And Brie Olsen said, Katie, how am I going to pay for your commercial-free content on Duggars now? So that was her. If she does. She did do a Britney video today, but only about Britney being, I don't know, I don't see what she does. Jenna's sweet tea, people will be giving her money to put the clothes on. Oh. Oh dear, we're heading into adult only territory, aren't we? Oh boy. It's funny. Well, I have to say, I can't really eat cupcakes anymore, though. I don't know about you, what that's done to you. So, all right. I'm going to show you the picture of Brittany, okay? But I don't think that that's I don't think this is her photo to share. This is what she shared. I don't think it's her picture to share. Britney Spears is under investigation for battery. According to People, she's been investigated for misdemeanor battery of her housekeeper. Now, apparently, that photo is okay. That's not breaching community guidelines, apparently. And again, just because Brittany put it on her Instagram doesn't mean that it's to be shared to everybody, in my opinion. Join me now on YouTube for a premiere. Join me on YouTube now for a premiere. So I just object to her showing a picture of Brittany topless. Why did she have to show that picture or put that picture? And don't forget, she talks about all the fact she's got all these grannies for Katie. How would her grannies feel about that? Well, that's what I'm saying, me more. But it's not Katie's picture to share. It's not Katie's picture to share publicly. It's Britney's. And just because Britney Spears puts it on her Instagram doesn't give somebody the right to share it. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that she shared it. But yeah, she did. She went on a whole Britney thing today. Maybe you might be onto something there. Maybe. Well, yeah, that's right. No, grannies can be corn stars too. Mine never looked like that. Oh dear. But that's right. That's what I'm saying. She shouldn't be posting others tartars. Anybody's. They're not, But she'll say, I got them from a public website. She shared them on her Instagram, but that doesn't give you the right to share them. I still can't get over Brie Olsen, though, if it is really Brie Olsen commenting. I mean, let's just say, if I was to do it, she wouldn't share mine. I wouldn't do it, but if I was. But see, she's talking about her audience. I don't know that that's the audience that she has that would appreciate that. She's always talking about not upsetting her audience. So that's my only concern. But I actually say I did report it, and I reported it as the fact that it wasn't her photo to share. And apparently it wasn't against community guidelines, which As I said, I find it quite horrifying that she can share somebody's. It does. Corn and Tata. Oh, dear me. The things we do. Although, really, we could probably say the video is already orange, so it's not gonna change. If I put it in for manual review, they probably won't put it through anyway. So we're already blacklisted, so let's keep going. She's very smart, and do you notice that she does those things on Instagram and not on YouTube? She's very careful with what she does on YouTube. You have to give her credit. She knows how to play the algorithm, which a lot of us still don't know. I haven't got my head around it. I know my videos are getting out there, but I don't really know how to work the algorithm to its, to the best. But she gets her videos. She gets her videos out there. I've got to give her that credit. Coffee chat with Corn. Oh dear. Well, why would Brie Olsen have any interest in Katie Joy's Duggar content, though, to be honest with you? Can anyone work that out? Yeah, well, she would have, yeah. That's why she's constantly changing the titles too. It's all to do with the algorithm, apparently. If you change the title, it's to do with the algorithm as well. I mean, it annoys us all, but that's how you work the algorithm, apparently. It's all about keywords and stuff like that. So, and her videos are never demonetized. She actually cuts the bits out, so they're never demonetized. She would never ever have what I have, and that's orange videos. Maybe. A prawn star watching the Duggars. That's a very interesting. Watching conservative Christians. That's a very interesting thing, isn't it? I would not have picked that. Not saying it wouldn't happen. I just think it's. Yeah, so I've got to sit down and probably spend some time and study the algorithm better and work out how it all works myself. So I don't know. I always say when I finish my next assignment, the next assignment comes and there's always an assignment around the corner. So oh dear. I did say I was going to go before, didn't I? And then we got talking about corn. Oh gee, there's a question about corn that I want to ask, but it's not appropriate in the context of corn. Cool. I think Ren went over some information. Yes, I did see some of that. I watched some of that. Wind Whispers. As I said, I watch a variety of different creators. He's actually on a time when works well for me. So those that are on late at night on your side of the world are actually on at a good time for me. So I generally watch those ones. dear me. Oh. Or them in pants. Oh. Oh dear me. I don't know. I don't. I'm intrigued. I mean, oh dear. Christian. Hardcore Christian corn. There's a hot name. It is, isn't it? We're speaking of, apparently I've grown squash and not. Wow, that's pretty clever. Oh. Oh dear. This is what it's all about, having a bit of a laugh and having some fun. Thank you, Dawn B. Now, talking about corn, the vegetable, do you have butter on your corn? Do you put melted butter on your corn, or do you eat the corn without butter? And I'm not talking about what we're using as corn here. I'm talking about real corn, you know, the vegetable. Not what we've described it as. Oh. Well, you had to go there. Is there really? I've got no idea. You've got to have butter on. Oh no, you've got to have butter on the corn. Yes. Laura's lost the plot. Really? Spray butter exists? No way. Oh, margarine, you hate butter. Literally had a bottle in her walker bus. Really? I've never heard of spray butter. I've heard of spray oil, but I've not heard of spray butter. Yuck, it's not butter. I can't believe it's not butter. Oh boy. We'll have to incorporate this spray butter into this. Oh no, Osbel. What have you missed? Well, we were talking about OnlyFans, not only not having any, not allowing any corn anymore, and then we've got into whether we like the food corn with butter or not. And apparently there's spray butter. In the naughty, write this down in your planner in the sparkly naughty corn section. Spray butter. Okay, yeah, I've never heard of it. Or do you actually have to go to a corn shop to get it? Oh boy. Anyone that's just coming into this chat now, I apologize. Oh, it's in the supermarket? I've never seen it. Spray butter. Oh, jello in the top. See, we call that jelly. It was margarine because she never refrigerated it. The only thing. Spray butter. That's what they're all saying. It's real, Osbel. I got the pan, the butter. I'm missing. They're saying it's real, Osbel. That's where the conversation's gone wild because yes, I know. That's correct. That's right. I believe that, yes, but we're using the word corn. Spray butter. It is a thing. No way. It reminds me of. Can you actually get it here? No way. I know it's from this. Look. Spray butter. Butter flavor. So we have the oil, the olive oil cooking spray. We don't have butter spray. Wow. We're missing out. We're deprived. Healthy. There you go. I can't believe it's not butter. The spray. You can get I can't believe it's not butter spray. Oh, bacon mayonnaise. Oh. This is the squirt kind, isn't it? Anyway. So it is a thing. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Perfect title now. I can't believe it's not spray butter in me. Oh boy. And how did we get on this topic? Katie Joy. Corn. Yes, I know. You won't be able to look at corn the same way again, will you? Hey, I was using the word porn. You butter a piece of bread and turn. Oh, really? Wow. There you go. Do you have Dijonaise, which is Dijon mustard and mayonnaise? I don't like that either, but that's very popular here. Dijonaise or Dijonaise. I can't even pronounce it. It's Dijon mustard and mayonnaise together. Definitely. Oh dear. So yes, we got into this topic because Brie Olson had actually commented on Katie Joy's Twitter about OnlyFans. That's how we got onto corn and butter. Cupcakes and corn, two foods I will avoid for a very long time. Not much, really, to be honest with you, other than talking about corn. And that they know 100% with certainty who sent the threats. 100% certainty who you have Dijonaise? Yeah. I'm eating a crisp ear of corn and KJ's cooking. Yes, so Brie also made a comment on her Twitter about OnlyFans, and but when we're talking, but we're not saying the P word, we're using corn instead. So, oh dear. Oh. Oh. If kids are watching this, I'm sorry. Oh, dear me. You bigger band-aid than that. Actually, you need to have Gail's earmuffs, I think. Well, Harrison made some jelly today. Oh, dear. We're putting everybody off food now. Oh, dear. Drunken gummy bears. Oh, boy. Well, I said about an hour ago I was going to finish, but we managed to fill up another hour of nonsense. Of very serious discussions. Well, we started on about the fact that Katie Joy showed a topless photo of Britney Spears, and we started off by discussing that it wasn't her photo to show. And yeah. So on that note, I'm glad that I've got that we're finished on a high. I'm going to I'm going to say good night. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I'm finally feeling good again, which is good. So I've got to do the church video for tomorrow, and I've got to do some recordings because I've got an assessment due this week. An assessment due on Monday. My arrangement of Amazing Grace. So watch out for that. So I've got to record it and then mix it and do all the fancy stuff on it. Timed out. I know Ralph is mean. Ralph wants a pay rise, but the boss won't give him a pay rise. Harrison and Ralph had a fight. Where is he when you need him? So on that note, I'm going to catch you all later. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button. So for those of you that are watching that haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And the replay crew, if you've made it this far, you are legendary. And don't forget, you can hit the share thanks button as well and share some love and for everybody. So thank you, and I'll catch you tomorrow night, and we'll see what Friday night. We'll see if we get a drunken Friday KJ live. Hey, so I'll catch you all later. See ya again soon.